Hi everyone, I'm Paul Kankowitz, and this is the weekly update for my 2D PvP game with grappling hooks. This week, I created a few new levels which included making some simple background variants to provide some additional variety. Since this is all temp art, I simply altered the colors of the clouds and beanstalks, which was enough to give it some variation without spending a ton of time on temp art. I thought it'd be cool to show my process of creating the levels, so here are some time-lapse videos of me making them. I start off by making a chunk of the level layout using just walls and some special platforms. I make sure to test it little by little to make sure the placements and metrics feel good. I slowly build out more and more of the space until I have a real level, at which point I test it again to make sure it feels good as a whole. I then start adding some traps and other mechanics to give the level a bit of gameplay. I keep iterating and tweaking things until they feel good. The main thing I'm looking for are jump and grapple distances, plus density of traps and special platforms. Once the level is feeling pretty good, I add the various background layers and iterate on those a bit until it looks good and feels good to play around in. Once everything's in, I do one final pass to see if there's anything I want to tweak. And here's the time-lapse video of the other new level. You can see that my process is pretty similar to the first. You also might have noticed that the final levels from these videos don't match some of my other clips. That's because I kept iterating on them even after I felt they were done. There's a quote that goes, "Art is never finished, only abandoned," and that certainly holds true for game design as well. While making one of these new levels, I discovered my moving platform script had issues when multiple players were on them at once, so I went ahead and fixed that up. Maybe it's because I'm originally from Phoenix and now live in Seattle, but I always love rain in games. I knew that I wanted rain in some of my levels, so I spent some time creating and tweaking a weather system for my game. It took a lot of time to tune everything, but I eventually got it to a point where adding new weather effects is going to be pretty easy, so I'm happy I took the time to do it right. Finally, I added some debug to allow me to toggle the various background layers, which will help me when creating new levels in the future. That's everything I did this week. I plan on spending this next week hitting feedback from my first playable playtest survey, so hopefully y'all see some of your suggestions come through in the next week's video. See ya then!